Hello and welcome to another Coffee and Cards by Accra Harmony Guidance. I hope you are ready with your coffee like I am. This is my Slytherin mug. It's pretty good. It's really hot. I don't know why they made it like that. But anyway, I'm wearing my onesie today because I feel like it. Alright, we're using this tarot deck again. Blah, 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 blah. I have a lot of energy because I already finished a coffee. Now I made another one. And I had chocolate this morning because, Easter times. And then my baby knocked over my coffee and then spilled it all over the rug. But then my caramel that I dropped in my coffee was still sitting at the bottom of it. So I just left it there for my next cup. Alright, I'll let this reading go a minute over time because I've wasted time talking about random shit. Oh, it's upside down. I don't do the reverse cards thing because that's not the way that I get my messages. But anywho's, I've never seen this card before in my life. Alright, so it feels like the focus of today is the things that we are trying to share with other people. A gift that we have, which we've been surrounding ourselves with, which other people, although we're trying to give it to them, they're really hesitant in receiving it, and they're just like, no, I don't think so. And you know that it will help them flourish. You know that it's for them, but they're not willing to accept that yet. And all we have to do is be there. Be that person that is like, I have this, and I have the evidence around me to show that it does bring more light and beauty into your life. But don't be that person that's like, take it. You have to take it now. You're ready to take it, so just have it. Because that will make them run away from it. And that's not what we want. So just honestly just be there and be genuine and be yourself, and don't shove it in anyone's face, because that's not what anyone wants. You can't pressure somebody into receiving something. If they're not ready for it, they can just run away from it, and it might put them off the whole idea of that thing for years to come. We just have to be there and allow them to see that we are available when they're ready. I think my eyes are about to start leaking. They do that like every day. Also, yeah, there we go. You may not feel like this is relevant to you yet, and you may feel that this is more of a future thing, but no, I'm talking about the thing I'm about to say. But honestly, in reality, you'll realize that if you take into account everything that you have, yeah, it is relevant to you now. So you have built a life around you. You've built stuff around you with your gifts of who you are and what you can offer the world and everything around you. You have built this life which is actually beautiful and exactly where you need to be right now. And although you may see it as, this is just for now, this isn't the goal, this isn't what I want, this isn't good enough for me, there is a past version of you that will look to you and be, I guess, proud and envious in a way of what you do have now. And there are others around you who would also see, others in the world who aren't as fortunate, haven't gotten as far. And to be honest, it's most likely people that are meant to be following a similar path to you that will notice this in you and in your life. That you have what seems to be the perfect setup for you right now. And it seems to be those people that know how good you've got it more than you do. So it's an invitation to step back in time to a past version of yourself just momentarily. Maybe do it in like a meditative state. Turn the lights down and maybe put on some soft music and let yourself drift back into who you used to be and visualize yourself as you were. Believe just one moment that you are the version of yourself from the past and you have the life around you that you used to have. And then, as that version of you, look forward and see the life you have now and notice what you feel in response to that and get a notepad and a pen. If you haven't done that already, pause this and do that now. And make yourself a cup of coffee while you're at it. If you haven't got one already, maybe some water. It's really better. And then, um, honestly, just write some notes, like whatever comes to you, whatever you're noticing about your life around you now, that you're taking for granted, that a past version of you was like hoping for, wishing for, couldn't even comprehend that it would be in their life now. Um, and once you've done that, so if you're still doing that, pause it. And then once you're done, press play again because I don't want you to like hear this next bit until you've done the thing. So, um, once you've done that, writing down all of those insights and feelings or whatever, if you forgot to write the feelings, go back and do it now. Be that past version of yourself still. And what would you say? What would you say as that past version of yourself to your current version of yourself now? What comes to you there? And write that down. And if you've already done that somehow, well, good job, you are right on track. Is it going to be something like, man, I'm so proud of you, can't believe you've like gotten this far, that's awesome? Or, man, I'm so jealous of you, I wish that I had your life right now? Or like asking for advice, like, please give me a step to get to where you are. And although this is kind of separate from today's reading, what we're doing right now, you can actually do this in reverse in order for you to find your steps forward. The next card might tell me to do that actually, so I'll just stop talking there. I'm still working off one card and we're already like halfway through this. Um, okay, so as your past self, all those things that you noticed, um, you probably need to come back into who you are in the present now before you do this next step. So look at the list of the things that's in your life now that you're taking for granted and recognize the fact you created that. This is a thing that I brought into my life. And I know sometimes you might feel like, oh, but like that was just luck, or someone else brought that into my life, kind of thing. But that's how we create things, that's how we bring things into alignment with ourselves. We put it out into the universe, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not, and then it comes to us. So whatever may have come to you, whether you like intended for it to happen or not, you still created it. Every beautiful thing that you have in your life, you've created for yourself, and that is awesome. So 100%, you need to. I wonder how many times I've said that in my readings. 100%. Um. Anyway. Um. Each one of those things that you have in your life, you're not done with them. You're not done giving them energy. You're not done letting them grow and flourish. If you're in a house and you weren't before, or if you're in a bigger house than you were before, or paying less rent than you were before, or whatever, just like give that more energy. Recognize, hey, you've flourished. I like to see inanimate objects and circumstances and stuff in my life as like separate entities so that I can give them love and attention in a more like intimate way. That doesn't sound weird, but like that's why I guess there was a reading before about getting symbols for certain things. So if you're saying yes, my housing situation, or yes, I have children now, or yes, I have dog I always wanted, or something, I don't know, it could be something completely different or obscure or whatever, but something you have now that you didn't before. Look at it and talk to it. You, I'm not. I mean, you could just like talk to your house, or you can like visualize it and the circumstances that you're in now in a bubble floating in front of you, and you can literally talk to that, which is probably what I'm gonna do. But I might try both because that sounds cool. And just uh, thank it for being with you. For starters, be like, yes, thank you for coming into my life and being drawn to me, and thank yourself for drawing it to you, and then be like, I'm not going to give up on developing this, that what we have here, and making it flourish, and then give it back more energy and more love and more appreciation. And I feel like I have to draw another card before I start rambling about random things. Okay. Whew. Um, Sometimes when we let ourselves appreciate all of these things and give energy to these things, the right things that are in our lives that will flourish and become more beautiful and bring more joy and more beauty to our lives. Um, Two things could happen. One thing is that we will notice the positivity staying with us, and we will notice that any negativity or whatever will start to just like melt away and collapse, disintegrate. Or the opposite will happen, and a part of you will freak out and start hyper focusing on all the negatives instead, because it's like a part of you knows there is still this stuff that has to be dealt with in the background. We can't ignore it. What are you doing? Just focusing all this beautiful energy on all this stuff. There's like other shit back here that needs all your energy and attention too. We need appreciation, otherwise we're gonna drag you down with us, kind of thing. Um. So yeah, keep in mind that if things start to get more turbulent, or your perception of things starts to get crazy, or you start to get agitated or whatever, after being like, oh, such beautiful exercise I just did, appreciating things, and then something happens and you don't cope with it and you're like, well, shit, that didn't last long. Yeah, no, that's a part of it. That's a part of the process. It's meant to happen. So calm down and just like go with it. Well, don't go with it, but work with it. So your work is not done yet. Acknowledge the places where you're freaking out and get your notebook back out. I don't know, this notebook is going to be full of so much stuff and so much self growth stuff that you probably wouldn't have expected to get out of this. But you know what? That's awesome and something really cool to look back on in the future. But start writing down those things that you're noticing about yourself. Just like, holy crap, someone said something to me and it triggered me so bad, even after all this positive stuff, and I don't know why. And then you just let yourself like think about it. There's two ways you can go about this as well. You can literally just sit there and like think about it and let yourself calm down a little bit, break down those barriers, and let yourself understand where that did come from, whether it's like a buried underlying thing, or if it's like so surface noticeable. You're just like, oh, they spoke to me that way, which reminded me of the way that I feel about myself, or the way that someone spoke to me in the past, which made me feel a certain way about myself. So the issue that you have is, I have a part of myself that still believes these things, that this is triggering all these like emotions around. So someone told me I didn't clean up after myself or something. Oh, that makes me think I'm lazy and messy and disgusting, or can't do things, can't look after myself. I don't know. I'm just like listing a whole bunch of random stuff. Um, Although, if psychology would suggest that those things that I mentioned are probably relevant to me. So that's something that I'm probably gonna have to dig into. But that's irrelevant. That's about you guys. So, um, you would then like take that information and be like, if I was feeling that way, what would help calm me down? What would help me feel better? And if your information is telling you I need a big tub of ice cream and just like a bunch of junk food, that is not actually the answer. That is like a surface thing, and you need to dig even deeper into that. So it'll be like, why would I need that? Because that stuff makes me feel comfort, the kind of comfort that I don't usually feel, and it also feels like I'm getting a treat. So I need to feel comforted and like I'm receiving a gift. So then you find a way to give that to yourself in a more healthy way. Or what else makes me feel comforted? Listening to this kind of music, doing this kind of meditation or exercise, being out in nature, um, and or getting cuddles from someone that you love, or giving yourself cuddles. Do you have a teddy bear? I have a teddy bear. If you have a teddy bear, then you need to go hug that teddy bear, just usually the first thing we think of when we are thinking of what will help me is not what will help you. Um, and it might make you feel better briefly, but in the long run, it probably won't. So just like dig a little bit deeper, and make sure you're writing this list, because honestly, you will forget. You'll forget about the things that are relevant. You forget about the ways to help yourself deal with it. Just do it and give yourself time. And I don't know if you've been following along with the past readings, but there was one where one of the guides, a male guide, I can feel him here in front of me right now. Every time I mention him, he's like right there looking at me. So, um, he wants you to know that he's still here. All of us, he's here for all of us, okay? And he's all like, he's like, oh, the pressure, but he's like joking. Anyway, um, he's here because he can help enhance your awareness of the vibrations in your body, and which will show you like which is the correct path to go. And he will also give messages in the form of images that pop into your mind or tunes that pop into your mind. So if you're wanting to know what will help me cope, what will help calm me in the situation, he can give you clues. So, do we have a name? Do we have a name? Um, I don't know if I can. I just the first word that came to mind was asparagus, and I don't think that that is a name. I don't know. Sorry. Um, and then there was like Godfrey or something. Um, he's I don't. Apparently, he might give different names to different people. And knowing how strange my system can be, someone called Asparagus Godfrey could totally be a thing. So, alrighty then. I'm gonna have to end it here, guys. And I only pulled 2 cards for that whole reading. Geez, sometimes I pull like 5. Alright. So, if that was helpful, and if you think that will be helpful, then make sure that you like and subscribe and share this with anyone who you think will benefit from it. Message me on my Facebook to make your own appointment to get your own personalized reading, because that will be far more magical, specifically about you and your journey. And we'll even have time in that reading for you to actually ask specific questions for me to read about. If you have certain issues you need information on, you can ask, so I'll do that. I've literally just set up a Patreon account, which part of me was like, no, don't tell anyone and launch it when it's all ready. But I'm still in the middle of setting it up, and I've already linked it to my Twitter for like tips, because I just found out you can do that. So, yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and tune in again tomorrow for your next reading, and I love you so much. Goodbye.